I'm gonna show you, yeah you, how you can get better mixes on your beats without turning on a computer. What's up with y'all good? Good. I'm Trenton Kibbs. As always, appreciate y'all for tuning in, tapping in, especially for locking in. Yes, sir. Today I'm gonna outline my approach to mixing, and I think it'll be helpful for some of y'all who struggle to find that clarity that you're looking for in your production. Now, before I start, I am not a Grammy Award-winning engineer, but I know good sounds. And if you walk with me, I guarantee you that your beats won't sound bad. Now, they might still sound like shit, because you don't know sound selection, you don't know music theory or arrangement, but they won't sound bad though. As producers, when we hear the word mixing, we get all nervous and lightheaded like a schoolgirl around her crush. Traditionally, when you think of mixing, you think of these big SSL boards, expensive outboard gear, expensive plugins, and mad technical terms. So let's start by replacing the word mixing with the word balance. Balance is just a much lighter word. It's just got so much positive vibes around it, you know? Think about balancing in life for a second. You probably go to work or school and you balance that out by doing something fun, like playing video games or partying or whatever you do for fun. That's balance. Some of us link up with the baddies. Some of y'all link up with the ducks. That's balance. Now, when it comes to music and production, it's three areas that I look at to achieve balance. And the first is frequency. Your production should have a blend of sounds with low-end information, like kicks and 808s, but also high-end information, cymbals, hi-hats, bells, strings, and then you want some in the middle. That's your claps, your snares, guitars. And you can break that up even further. Low mids, pads, high mids, pianos, balance. You have sounds in each of those frequency ranges. If most of the instrumentation in your production is just low-end information, it's going to sound muddy. If it's too much high-end information, it won't sound full. It's going to be missing that bottom end. And you know we like a good bottom end. The second area I look at for balance is level, or simply volume. The important instruments need to be louder than the ones that are supporting. If everything's the same volume, whether that's loud or soft, you won't know what's important. You won't tell people what to listen to. So it's just all going to sound jumbled. Now, the last area I look at to achieve balance is in panning. Think about when you're wearing headphones. You might hear sounds in both ears, equal volume, and that means those sounds are dead center in the stereo field. But you could pan some sounds left or right and choose how far in either of those directions you want to place your instruments. The important instruments stay down the middle. Now, the flourishes and the accents and the instruments that support the main melody, they can float off to the left and right to taste. Now, all of this sounds good in theory. So let's do this for real. I'm gonna load up a session and I'm gonna show y'all how I use those three principles in practice to mix all of my beats. Let's get it. So starting from scratch, first place I go to is the drums. And the most important drum, kick drum. I want my kick to be kind of loud, center in the stereo field, and dominating that low end of the frequency spectrum. Now my next step is to move up in frequency, so I'll add the snare. Then I'll start to add some more to high end, so like hi-hats, open hats. See what I did with the open hat? Pan it to the left a little bit. Why did I do that? Because I got hi-hats in that frequency range. I got other perks in that frequency range. And to give the open hats its own space, moved it to the left. It's nothing else over there. Balance. This other perk, I'm gonna pan to the right, give that its own space, turn it down a little bit. You can see with the faders, I'm choosing what's important. And that's level, aka volume. So the kick and the snare, real important. Hi-hat's kind of important. Everything else kind of play in the background. And those are the instruments that I start to pan and do all my special processing with. If I want to add reverb, delays. Now the 808, can't forget that. It's just as important as the kick. but it's not hitting as much as the kick is hitting, so I'm not worried about them clashing. So everything I just did for the drums, I take that exact same philosophy and apply it to all my instruments. Start with my important instrument, it's the guitar here. Keep it loud, down the center. It's kind of mid, not the sound, oh, that's your 5, but the frequency range. It's kind of mid, lowish, so I don't want nothing in the way of that. See, this is a higher little instrument. Turn it down, pan it a little bit to the left. So after doing everything I just showed y'all, this is what my mix kind of looks like. You see I got some level adjustments. The important instruments are loud. The important instruments are down the center and they have their own space in the frequency. Then you can see I start doing some panning to give other instruments their little time to shine, but also get them out the way of the important shit. Once you get the levels, the frequencies, and the panning on point, your mix is really about 80% done. Everything else is just cherry on top. That's my mixing approach to every beat, every song, anything I work on when it comes to music. I stick to those 3 principles and then I start to add all the extra effects once I get that in order. So hopefully that helped one of y'all or all of y'all. If you still have any question after you watch this, drop a comment. I'll get right with you. We'll get you right. And we'll get right on. And that's it, I'm about to head out. So always appreciate y'all for tuning in, tapping in. Especially for locking in. Yes, sir. We'll catch y'all soon. Love.